What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 28th day of September. Here we are at about $0.00367 right now with 9 hours, 24 minutes left in the day and in the week. It's the end of the week right now. What a very ugly look to this weekly close we're getting right now, but that's okay. We can look death in the face and smile sometimes in crypto, man, because even if next week is bad, I have a feeling that the sun's going to come out here pretty damn soon, going into the middle and end of October, going into the end of this year especially. It's going to be a good time. Anybody see the meme coin? There's a meme coin called Q4. Q4 is a meme. It's great, hilarious. But there's a reason for it, guys. Q4 is typically the best quarter for crypto. Q4 and sometimes even Q1. So we're really going into the top half year for crypto to perform here. But with that being said, again, I'm just trying to butter the bread in the midst of this red stick of death here that we got on the weekly look here. Now, when I say that, I'm having fun with my words, right? I don't think that this means that ZBCN's going down. Overall, I very much do believe that we're in a very bullish phase of consolidation here. I highly doubt that ZBCN's in any kind of like dire jeopardy, but I would believe that we have a little bit lower to go. If we're looking at this from a relative high here to a relative low, you hit your 1886200 area, came down just below the 1272, not really respecting this at all. But where you are here, you might go down to the 1414. You know, I remember back here, I was telling you guys that typically in this area, you go down and you find support directly at the 1414. Well, we didn't do that. We went a little bit lower, didn't we? Here, however, we found resistance again at this area. Maybe it's time to retry this, and we do find support at the 1414 this time, which would be at 0.0034. It's just a little bit above the area that we have designated, but it's possible. And maybe you do wick a little bit below there, in which case I would still count that as support in this area. The area that we have designated for support for ZBCN is about 0.0033 to 0.00309. So something in that area there, right? Basically, like right here. It's so small. It's such a small area. Like right there, that little dot. And I would assume we're going to hit that next week. Now, I've said this in every video that I've made so far today. I'll probably continue to say it in every video that I make today because it's the 28th. So you have the 29th, 30th, and then the first day of October, 3 days away from now, is the day that the Senate meets the Committee on Finance, or the Finance Committee, whatever it is. I think it's Committee on Finance in the Senate. They meet to discuss the taxation of digital assets. Okay? And this is something that I feel like hasn't been pushed out there. A lot of people aren't aware of it, but it is public information. I'm actually curious. Let's see if we can find out if anything else has happened with this. Senate, let's see, Committee on Finance. Yeah, let's just do this. Was that Greta Thunberg? Yep, it was. She's getting lifted out. These are probably her friends. They're probably all homies. Anyways, let's see. Wyden's statement on Trump's authoritarian memorandum targeting progressive speech. Interesting. U.S. Senate passes government payments to deceased. Oh, hey, that's good. Well, that's good. Where's the crypto hearing? Let's do this. Upcoming hearings. Examining the taxation of digital assets. So when they say examining, I don't know if they're going to pass anything. I'm curious to see what happens. What might happen is they're going to come to a conclusion of, or they're going to come up with some ideas and discuss it, and maybe promote a hearing at a later date to get the conclusive and final kind of things down. Does that make sense? Like I'm thinking, if it says examining the taxation, maybe they're just meeting to talk about it, and then something more refined, more definitive will be done at a later date. Maybe they'll discuss that here. I don't know. I plan on watching this, or I don't know if we're allowed to watch it. If not, I'm going to be refreshing the news pages to see what comes of this. But I'm going to be keeping up with this. I think all of us should be aware of what's happening here. Maybe the witness directory, whatever. Can we watch it is the question, right? Yeah, check back for live. So you can. Yes, you can watch the live video. That's good. It'll probably be very boring. There'll be a lot of words and stuff that aren't important, but there will be some important things as well. Let's see. I'm looking. There's nothing else until then. So, anyways, I'm getting all caught up in that because I think until that day, that'll be when we're moving down. And maybe not until that day, but maybe even sometime afterwards. That week, which is next week, we got 3 days until the 1st of October. On that day and the corresponding days afterwards, we should have, I would think, some resolution with the price action. We should be moving down and finding our support there. And then recovering, moving higher, going into the rest of October and the end of October. It's a perfect setup. It's a really perfect setup because everybody expects October to be green, and I personally expect October to be green. We are going to get in October. I think the end of October is going to be very bullish, but the first half might be bearish. It happens all the time. People think October is going to be such a bullish month, and then their hopes and dreams are just completely diminished as we tank in the first week or two. And when we tank, we're probably not going to tank too much. I mean, from here, what kind of percentage drop are we talking about? It's like a 10%, 15% drop. Let's see. Current price. Yeah, 10% barely. And then at the most, we probably dropped 15% at the most. So 10 to 15% drop at the most. I don't think that we go any lower than that, and that would, again, line up with our golden ratio zone from the low to high here. So we'll start off the month of October going down. I think we're waiting, right? We're waiting. We're kind of being boring now, probably until the first day of October. Don't be surprised if between now and the first we literally are just moving sideways. I know that tomorrow's Monday. I know it's the weekend now. Tomorrow's Monday, the next day's Tuesday, but I really wouldn't be surprised if the 1st of October was the day that we finally make our move down, find our low sometime on that day or the day after, and it'll be right around this area here. Afterwards, after we have our lower low here, we should be recovering, making strides higher, finding resistance at 004, 0042, coming back, finding support at this area that we're at now, continuing to stair step our way higher, and then as we get above these points here, that's when the magic will really start to happen. The way that I have it drawn here would be like November that we really start to rally, but I don't think it'll take that long. Maybe it's not as wide as I have it drawn here. Maybe it's more like, like a quick recovery, a little bit of consolidation like this, right? Maybe it's more like this, and then going into the end of the month, we start to really excel out of this area, something like that. I would expect that by the end of October, if not sometime in November, that ZBCN would be at 2 cents or more. If we're not at 2 cents or higher by the end of October, that's okay. The only thing that I'm really curious about is not if this price action will be achieved here to here, 4.5 cents to 2 cents, right? And we're really thinking 3 cents to 4.5 cents, this area specifically. I'm not wondering if this will happen. I'm just more wondering when it will happen. Because it can happen by the end of October, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be too terribly surprised if it happened later than that, later than that as well. I would think by the end of this year, we're reaching for higher targets than 4.5 cents. We're probably going to see 6 cents to 8 cents, if not higher, by the end of 2025. But I'm just kind of waiting to see, and I think we all are waiting to see how this next week resolves itself before we kind of get a good idea as far as what the timing of this all will be. Because if next week we find our low after the first, on the second, whatever it is, we find our low, and then we have a rapid recovery, okay, cool. It's very clear that we're going to be at 3 cents to 4.5 cents by the end of October. If we kind of meander, and by the end of next week, it's we're not really making any headway. We're still below these highs. It's possible that it takes until November or even December to get to that 4.5 cent, 3 cent area, but time will tell. All in all, we're very bullish on ZBCN. All in all, we're just waiting. I think the whole market right now is just waiting, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if the next couple of days were either a combination of volatility and neutrality or just boringness. We might just be literally waiting until that regulatory clarification comes out with this hearing. People are going to be waiting to see what they say. On that note as well, there's probably going to be some insiders who are aware of what's going to be said here, right? They're not just going to come up with what they're saying on the spot. There's probably already a script. People are aware of what they're going to say. People are aware of what's going to be said, and they tell their friends who tell their friends, and they make moves in accordance with that in the crypto spaces. So I think that whatever we do from here until the first will kind of tell us ahead of time, is it positive news? Is it negative news? What are we going to do? And then after that date, we should be moving up higher. But I feel like I'm repeating myself, so I'm just going to end the video there. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.